Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Wrights and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. This is the highly requested part 2 of Waiting on a Miracle. This part is based on Surface Pressure from Encanto. Thank you so much to Dani Smilek for letting me use their amazing art in my thumbnail. She is super talented as you can see, so go show her all the love. Her info will be linked below. Now, without further ado, please enjoy Under the Surface. The weeks until graduation passed like a sloth climbing a tree. I've studied for exams upon exams and aced the majority of them. I just had to walk and I'd be golden. I'm ready to begin my career as a fashion designer. But I couldn't stop wondering why I didn't feel happy. A pit nuzzled deep in my stomach as I sat on the floor of my room surrounded by cardboard boxes. They piled high against each wall of my room. I hide my nerves and it worsens. I worry about all of the possibilities. Everything that could go wrong. Everything that probably will go wrong. I clutched a photo of my friends to my chest, not realizing a tear slowly crept down my cheek. I shook my head, standing up to walk to an open tote. A box appearing out of seemingly nowhere caught my feet by surprise as I tripped, landing on my stomach, the picture flying across the room. The crack of glass rang deafeningly into my ears. I didn't get up immediately. I looked ahead of me, spying a small box with a label that read, "Adrian stuff," of course, complete with several small hearts. I grabbed the box and then pulled myself to my knees. This box hadn't seen the light in what looked like years. Thick dust covered the surface. I delicately opened the top of the box, revealing every picture I ever had of Adrian, and even memories I forgot about. Under the surface, I still cared about him, and all of this junk reminded me of that. I hated myself for it. So there was only one thing left to do. I stood with haste, walking to a nearly full trash bag. "Hiya, Marinette!" I jumped at the voice that had been a comfort to me these past 4 years. When my fear dissipated, heartbreak replaced it. "Hey, cat." I squeezed out, keeping my sobs at bay. His face fell as he hopped down from where he entered, taking in the emptiness of my room. "Oh, you're leaving soon, right?" Cat's voice sounded hollow, so different from his normal humorous tone. "Yeah," I said, lost in thought, unaware of the Adrian box still in my hands. "Graduation is tomorrow, and the next day I'm on a plane to New York." I should feel excited, but seeing Cat reminded me of what I would leave behind. Cat Noir, Alia, my parents. "That's great. I'm happy for you." His tone didn't match his words, but I took no offense. I know he'd miss me. I didn't dare pick a new Ladybug, though. I probably should have. But the thought of that made me sick. With the help of Cosmobug, I could cross the ocean in about a minute. I could be a fashion designer in New York, Ladybug in Paris. Who am I if I can't carry it all? I can't afford to let anyone down. Too many people depend on me, quite literally millions. "You don't look happy, Marinette. Are you okay?" I met Cat's curious eyes, looking down at the box. His eyes followed mine. "What's that?" Usually I would have made up an excuse to just throw the box out the window and act like nothing happened. And I stared down, knowing I needed to throw it away. If Cat Noir saw the box, he'd know about my crush. I hated the thought of that. He'd no doubt tease me. But the truth is, Adrian didn't love me, so it shouldn't matter who knows that I love him. Loved him. I used to love him, but I no longer do because he's with Kagami and I'm leaving. Yeah, leaving Adrian and the rest of my life. Cat took it from my hands and I did nothing to stop him. He sifted through photos with hearts, letters I wrote but never gave, and little chibi drawings of us together. "What is all this stuff?" he echoed. I smiled sheepishly, attempting to look nonchalant. Just some stuff I need to throw away. I gave no further explanation. Aren't these pictures of your classmate? Why throw them away? Won't you miss him? Kat said, adorably oblivious. I took the box from Kat, closing each fold of the cardboard strategically. Of course I will. So much. That's why I need to get rid of it. I stashed the box on the floor under a shelf, not bringing myself to throw it away quite yet. Kat looked at me curiously, so I continued. I loved him, but he doesn't feel the same way. A strange expression crossed my partner's face, one I couldn't quite place. Have you, told him? He said, his voice pitched a little higher. Yes. No, I mean, I tried to. But I have a lot of stuff going on. New York awaits, right? I didn't want to talk about Adrian anymore. I needed to focus on myself. I sat down on my chaise, head in my hands, desperately attempting to hold myself together. I felt Kat sit beside me, placing a clawed hand on my back. What's wrong, Marinette? I said nothing, not making eye contact. I wouldn't cry. I'm the strong one. People are counting on me. Showing a flaw or a crack could break the camel's back. This overwhelming pressure felt like a grip and it won't let go. Kat, what do you do knowing that any small mistake you make could have dire consequences? I finally looked at him with tear-stained eyes. His arm still lingered around me, pulling me closer to him. He stroked my hair with kindness and concern. He answered my question with a different question, voice soft like a lullaby. What if you could shake the crushing weight of expectations? I chuckled, albeit humorlessly. You know, as a superhero, all of the responsibilities you have. There's no room for joy or relaxation. How do you balance that? What's this really about? He looked at me suspiciously, moving back to look at my face. I averted my gaze, looking forward at the emptiness and darkness of my bedroom. Would this be the moment I tell him what I could never tell anyone? Alia knows, but everyone else in my life is clueless about this pressure I've been enduring. I've been trying to hang on a little longer. I've measured this growing pressure for years, buckling and bending but never breaking. Until now. Kat. I started cautiously, his glowing eyes the only source of light, except for the streetlight streaming in through my window. I took a deep breath slowly. I'm Ladybug. There's no room for cracks, no breaks, no mistakes. If I falter, people could die. Who am I if I don't have what it takes? We sat for a long moment until he broke the ear-splitting silence. No pressure. He gave a typical Cat Noir half-smile, which eased the tension that hung in the air. He cleared his throat before continuing. Marinette, you're incredible. You're trying so hard to do everything and be everything for everyone. But we're partners. Give me all the heavy things you can't shoulder, and we'll carry them together. Okay? He gave me another squeeze, and I felt nothing but warmth. I leaned into him, breathing a sigh of relief. I had tried for so long to be so many things, but I'm just one person. The pressure keeps growing and keeps going. But I wasn't alone. Somehow I had constructed this fantasy where I'm pretty sure I'm worthless if I can't be of service. Kat, as if reading my mind, whispered, You are more than what you can give to other people. My lips curled up and I really looked at Cat Noir, my partner. I kissed his cheek. The blushing didn't go unnoticed. Thank you. I love you. You love me? His voice peaked higher and I smiled. Of course. You're my partner and my best friend. I ruffled his messy blonde hair. You believe in me when I'm trying to handle every burden. but knowing you're here to shoulder all of that together, I think we'll be okay." His shoulders relaxed as he exhaled, almost sounding like a laugh. "Of course, m'lady. I love you too. Need any help packing?" He helped me to my feet. I glanced around, taking in the bareness of my room. I picked up a scrapbook laying on my computer desk that I had yet to put in a box. Alia had made it for me for my last birthday. In a fancy script, the book was titled Ladynoir Supremacy. "How about we take a trip down memory lane? I can order some Chinese food and we can watch Disney movies. What do you think?" His eyes lit up like a kitten batting at his favorite ball of yarn. "Sounds perfect, m'lady." Thanks so much for listening. I hope you all enjoyed this part of my Encanto Songfics. The next one I think I might do is What Else Can I Do? So let me know what you think. Stay miraculous!